Hello everyone, we're going to continue with our girl Starlight in a second, but I wanted to say that as Sir Jumping Spider instructed, I did keep Comet and Venus alive. These aren't... I don't know if I kept that in the episode, but I did actually delete all of the evening's save files and stuff. We still have this family tree of him and Sky. Comet and Venus, because they had those messages that they recovered right as their parents were getting killed, we decided that even though like in real life this would never happen, we decided that they somehow managed to survive to adulthood. But this does mean that they're going to be very inexperienced in a lot of things. We can only pick one of them. So let me know who you want. This is Comet. I did check what skins they had. Comet had brown base and Venus had black base, and I went and saw what kind of codes could come out of this. So this code is in fact possible for Comet to have ended up with. I did not make that up. Yes, so I decided I gave her this cut off tail because I think that, at some point surely she would have ended up having her tail grabbed and ripped off. That just seems fitting for her. I also made her really thin because I think that that makes sense. Maybe I should make Venus thinner as well. Yeah, and I did also give her, show me please, I did also give her this scar, mostly because the skin worked best, but also because, it makes sense that something would have happened to her face at some point. So she just has one eye, kind of like her grandmother Nova, though she had this instead of straight up missing the eye. These are her hauls. Wait, why does she have that one? Yeah, that seems more fitting. Yeah, I didn't give her any torn ears because you'll see that Venus has so many tears on her ears that it would just be going overboard at that point. And I gave her negative stats because she was a runt. And, like some runts maybe not super lighter than their siblings, and in that case it might not happen. But she was so much lighter than her siblings that I feel like it only makes sense that if she grew up, she would have negative stats. I'm pretty sure she would, actually. So I decided that, stamina, she's definitely very speedy. She did recover from her illness, even much better than Venus did. Venus went really down. And she did also, I imagine she would have stamina after surviving everything. So I decided to just give her minus strength because she's so small. And her life quest, I've decided, is I did make them both iron wolves because, might as well if our wolves are going to be dropping left and right. And, I hope they won't be, but it does make things a lot easier because then if your wolf dies, then the game will finish up with the meat for you. Yeah, she does a jealous challenge, but the specific logic is that she thinks you need to always be within a certain perimeter of an elk herd so that you're always, have food next to you. And now let's look at our beautiful lady Venus, who's also been through some rough times. I did give her this really very, very pretty coat, the Casanova coat. It is once again a coat that's possible for black base, and it was I know that that's just how that coat looks like, but I always associated specifically her with not having a lot of white on her, and even though this one doesn't have it either, I don't know, I feel like this one still has a lot of like gray stuff, whereas this one, her not initially having any white and then eventually like molting into having, wait, is it called molting it's not called molting in animals, is it? And like, not animals, in mammals, is it? um Eventually she's gonna like, you know, shed and grow into this fur. And I did give her, I might actually make her eyes a little more orange, because, and maybe more like this, because actually her mother, I remember now, had, I thought she had kind of I want to give her like really striking eyes, but I think I'm gonna put them over here because I remember that her mother had like brown eyes, or at least brownish. So maybe I make them more yellow but darker. Yeah, that could be a good balance. I tried to give her like really loud howls that would really send a challenge. And then this one, I think that fits her. And her poor ears did not have a good time, as you can see. They are both torn. And she has a crooked tail. So I guess it must have broken at some point. And with her it makes even more sense because she's a fighter. And you can see she has the snaggle tooth because at some point she probably broke her jaw really bad while fighting something big. And I decided to give her minus health because unlike Comet, she did go down really low, and also because she didn't really have much to help her through her sickness, I feel like she would have kind of a lower immunity overall, but she would also be pretty strong because that's just how she is. I am going to try and make her look thinner as well. We'll do this. And I think I'll just do the neck ruff a little smaller. And yeah, these are her stats, and her thing also has to do with food because, I mean, I imagine that most of their siblings, after what happened with their parents, ended up dying of hunger. So, her thing also has to do with that, but she does want to have a den. She wants to have like a stable foundation, but she also wants to have emergency chunks at the den at all times. Like, there always needs to be like 3 random chunks that are just there that will only really be used in emergency situations. Maybe I'll make her eyes a little lighter. I really like the way she looks, and you know, the only thing is I kind of wonder if maybe we could also add a don't go more than 80 without having multiple kills on the map. So, like multiple X's. That would be pretty tough, but maybe don't go more than 2 days, so it's a little less. So it's a little less impossible. Sure. So, but that makes it really Maybe we make that like an extra thing. Like she tries to always have some other. And our main quest will be, well, see, here's the thing is, I don't really think they would have had an opportunity to discover what happened to their parents. They didn't exactly die close to them. So what kind of quest should I give her then? I need something that would actually be fun to do though. So I'm just gonna leave it like this, and Sir Jumping Spider, if you want Venus as an heir instead of Comet, do let me know what life quest you should have that would be fun. And if you want Comet as heir, then we would do a damn list challenge where we try to follow a herd. And these are two options for the Skypack heirs, because we don't have any others. And yeah, so actually I'm going to make this its own separate episode because it took so long.